Courtney, and today I'm going to walk you through our newest pattern release for babies, and that's the Rhodes overalls. These come together so quickly and they're so easy, especially for a beginner, so I'm going to walk you through the pattern now. You can grab the pattern at rooneyclothing.com and then we'll get started. I am using a waffle knit fabric from Blackbird Fabrics. When I cut on the fold, I prefer to cut one shape at a time just to make sure I am preserving fabric, and so I'm going to lay out my fabric according to the grain line, which is the manufactured edge that you'll see on most fabrics. This is the finished edge, and you want to make sure that your grain line is parallel to this edge. Lay out all of your pattern pieces and cut out accordingly. Make sure you're cutting a notch on all of the triangles so you can use these as a guide later to line up your pattern pieces. Just a note about knit fabrics, you want to make sure that you have a needle that's perfect for a stretch material, and also make sure you're double checking the stitch that you're using and doing a little bit more research on the front end just so your stitches stay intact and lay really nicely. Use your pencil to mark where your pockets and your buttonhole will be. Unpin your pockets and find the side of the pocket that has the notches just under it. Fold that side down toward the wrong side of the fabric and press, and then fold it one more time, 1/4 of an inch, and press. Then you're going to sew along the top at 3/4 of an inch. Press the remaining 3 sides of your pocket toward the wrong side of your fabric at 1/2 an inch. You can repeat this for your second pocket. I like to put a thin piece of paper behind the fabric so when I sew it gives a sturdier place for the threads to hold better. This is just helpful for puckering to make sure that the thread and the fabric are not making a little ripple effect. You can tear away the paper once you're finished sewing and it just leaves a nicer finish. Pin your pockets in place and sew along the 3 edges. Unpin your front pieces. This is your front piece of the overall and the front facing. Line them up together, lining up all of the notches around the U shape and the shoulders and the armholes. Sew along the armholes up on the straps and then down through the U and back on the other side. You'll sew this together at 1/2 an inch. You'll do the same thing for your back overall piece and your back facing. Turn your front and back pieces that you've just sewn together right side out. You can use a sharp object if you need to point out the edges of the straps and press all of the edges. Lay your front piece in front of you, right side facing up, and then right sides together, lay the back piece on top of the front piece. Then line up the side seams and the notches and pin in place. Sew the side seams at 1/2 an inch. Then go to the leg openings and the crotch area, and you're going to make sure you're lining up the notches and pin this in place and sew along at 1/2 an inch. On the leg openings of your overalls, press the bottom hem under towards the inside of your overalls at 1/4 of an inch. Fold your hem once more 1 inch, sew all the way around the leg opening. Leave 2 inches unsewn for your elastic. Measure your baby's legs as a guide for the elastic. You want to add your safety pin to one end and close it, and then add a safety pin to the other end and attach it to the leg opening. Then you're going to insert your safety pin into the tunnel that you just made and bring it all the way around to the other side. Then overlap your elastic 1 inch and sew it in place. Don't forget to close up the hem that you just made and do the same thing on the other leg. Now I'm going to show you how to attach your buttons or finish off the straps of your overalls. If you have a buttonhole feature on your sewing machine, if not, no big deal. I'm just going to show you how to make a buttonhole manually. So you're going to measure your button and put a pin at the top and the bottom of the height of the button. After your pins are in place, do a zigzag stitch and move the stitch length to a lower size, such as 0.5 millimeters. Then you're going to carefully count the amount of stitches and go from the top of the pin to the bottom. Pivot your needle and sew about 2 to 3 stitches, and then pivot once more and finish off making sure you're doing the same amount of stitches on this side. Leave the pins in place and use a seam ripper or a sharp pair of scissors to open the buttonhole. Next, attach your button to the other side of the strap by knotting thread and then going through the buttonhole to make an X and make sure that it is secure in place. Another option for the strap closure is to use snaps. You can find these at the fabric store or online, and they usually come with this little tool to attach snaps. You can also use the tie feature that comes with the overalls to add ties instead of a button or a snap. And that is it for the Rhodes overalls. I loved walking through this pattern with you. You can see more of our patterns at rooneyclothing.com. And if you have any questions, just let me know below and I'd love to walk through it together. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel because next Monday we'll have a new video out. I can't wait to see what you create. So I'll see you next Monday.